You want to know the real secret to finding a quality RV? Don't ask the salespeople. Don't read the brochures. Go to any RV park in America and look for the oldest units still on the road. Then ask those owners if they'd ever sell. The answer tells you everything. Some RV owners treat their rigs like rental cars, flip them every few years, always chasing the next shiny thing. But then there's this other group. They bought once, and that was it. 20 years later, they're still rolling in the same rig, and they'll tell you with a straight face it was the best decision they ever made. Today, we're counting down the RVs that people refuse to give up. These aren't just vehicles. They're long-term relationships. And by the end of this list, you'll understand exactly why some RVs get traded in after 3 years, while others become family heirlooms. 1. Airstream Classic. Picture this. You're at a campground and you spot a gleaming aluminum trailer that looks like it rolled off the lot yesterday. You walk over to compliment the owner on their new rig. They laugh and say, "New? I bought this in 1987. That's the Airstream effect. The riveted aluminum shell isn't just for looks, it's legitimately the reason these things outlast everything else on the road. While fiberglass RVs are dealing with delamination and wood frame trailers are rotting from water intrusion, Airstreams just keep going. The body doesn't rot. It doesn't delaminate. It dents, sure, but you can actually fix a dent. Try fixing delamination without spending 5 figures. Here's what really separates Airstream owners from everyone else. They form clubs. Not casual Facebook groups, actual clubs with rallies and events and waiting lists to get in. The Wally Byam Caravan Club International has over 8,000 member families. Verify. You don't see that level of devotion with Jayco owners. No offense to Jayco, but their owners aren't exactly tattooing the logo on their shoulders. Mechanically, Airstreams are straightforward. Any competent RV tech can work on them, and parts are available going back decades. The company actually supports their old models, which is basically unheard of in the RV industry. You can call Airstream today about a 1970s model, and they'll help you. Try that with most manufacturers, and you'll get laughed off the phone. The price floor on used Airstreams is absurd. A 20-year-old classic in decent shape still commands $40,000 or more. Verify. That's because people know what they're worth. First-time buyers see those prices and think sellers are delusional. Then they do the research and realize those prices are actually fair. Weight is the main downside. These things are heavy for their size, so you need a serious tow vehicle. A 27-foot Classic weighs around 7,500 pounds loaded, verify, which means you're looking at a 3/4-ton truck minimum. That math changes everything for people who thought they could tow it with their mid-size SUV. 2. Oliver Travel Trailers. Most people have never heard of Oliver, and honestly, the owners seem to like it that way. Oliver builds fiberglass trailers in Hohenwald, Tennessee, and their whole philosophy is the opposite of the mainstream RV industry. While other manufacturers are cranking out units as fast as possible to meet quarterly numbers, Oliver builds maybe 400 trailers a year. Verify. They're not trying to be the biggest. They're trying to be the one you never have to replace. The hull is molded fiberglass, one piece for the bottom, one for the top, bonded together. No wood frame, no slide-outs, no places for water to seep in and start destroying things from the inside out. It's basically a boat on wheels, which makes sense because the construction technique comes from boat building. RV forums have this running joke about Oliver owners. They're insufferable because they never have warranty claims to complain about. Here's something wild. Oliver offers a lifetime warranty on the fiberglass shell. Not a prorated warranty, not a lifetime warranty with 17 exclusions in fine print. An actual transferable lifetime warranty. Verify. They can do this because the shells genuinely don't fail. When's the last time you saw any RV manufacturer offer a real lifetime warranty on anything? The wait list is currently around 18 months. Verify. You put down a deposit, you wait, and you get your Oliver when it's ready. Some manufacturers would see that wait list as a sign to ramp up production. Oliver sees it as confirmation they're doing things right. They're not interested in growth for growth's sake. Used Olivers are nearly impossible to find. When they do pop up for sale, they move fast. A 5-year-old Oliver Legacy Elite 2 sells for about 85% of its original price. Verify. In the RV world, where most trailers lose 20% the moment you drive off the lot, that retention is basically unheard of. The trade-off? You're paying premium prices up front. A new Oliver Legacy Elite 2 starts around $85,000. Verify. That's serious money for a trailer without slide-outs. But that's kind of the whole point. You're paying once and never dealing with the nightmare of replacing it. So which actually lasts longer, the cheap trailer you replace 3 times or the expensive one you buy once? The answer might surprise you. 3. Winnebago Travato. A guy once told me he bought a Travato expecting to upgrade in 5 years. That was 9 years ago. He's still driving it and actively trying to convince his friends to buy one. Class B motorhomes are having a moment right now, but the Travato's been quietly building a cult following since 2014. It's based on the Ram ProMaster van, which means parts and service at any Ram dealership. You're not hunting down specialized RV mechanics for basic maintenance. Your local Dodge dealer can handle the chassis work, and that matters more than people realize. The floor plan options hit this sweet spot between compact and functional. You've got a real bed, a real bathroom, a kitchen that actually works. It's not trying to be a 40-foot motorhome crammed into 21 feet. Winnebago understood that Class B buyers want simplicity, not a slide-out that breaks in year 2. No slide-outs means fewer leak points, fewer motors to fail, fewer warranty claims. Fuel economy for a motorhome is genuinely usable, 15 to 18 miles per gallon. Verify, depending on how you drive. Compare that to a Class C getting 8 to 10 or a Class A getting 6 to 8. Over 100,000 miles, that difference adds up to tens of thousands of dollars in fuel costs. The Travato pays for itself just by not bankrupting you at the pump. The Ram ProMaster chassis is the controversial part. Some people swear by it. Others complain about the handling compared to a Sprinter. Front-wheel drive feels weird if you're used to rear-wheel drive vans. But here's the thing. The owner satisfaction scores are consistently high. Verify, which suggests most buyers get over the learning curve pretty quickly. Used Travatos hold value like crazy. A 2018 model with 40,000 miles still sells for around $75,000. Verify. New ones are pushing $175,000 to $200,000 depending on the floor plan. Verify. So that used market is where smart buyers are hunting. And here's where most buyers get burned. They find what looks like a deal, discover it's been rented out on Outdoorsy for 3 years, and realize it's trashed inside. 4. Grand Design Reflection. Here's a test. Ask any travel trailer owner who bought in the last 5 years what brand they'd recommend without hesitation. Grand Design comes up a lot. Like a lot. The company started in 2012 when a group of RV industry veterans got fed up with how the major manufacturers were cutting corners. They left, started Grand Design, and focused on actually fixing the stuff that drives RV owners insane. Thicker walls, better insulation, actual customer service that answers the phone. Revolutionary concepts in the RV industry, apparently. The Reflection line sits in their mid-range lineup, nicer than entry-level, but not trying to compete with luxury fifth wheels. The build quality is immediately obvious when you walk through one. The cabinets close properly. The drawers don't fall apart. The slide seals actually seal. These sound like basic expectations, but in the RV world, they're borderline miraculous. Grand Design's warranty support is legitimately good, which is why owners aren't rage posting on forums constantly. The company maintains a 95% customer satisfaction rating. Verify. In an industry where 70% is considered acceptable, that number stands out. They back their product, they fix issues, they don't ghost you after the sale. The Reflection 303 RLS floor plan became almost legendary among couples. It's 36 feet with 3 slides, a king bed in a separate bedroom, theater seating, and a real kitchen. Verify. People buy it planning to upgrade to a fifth wheel later, then realize they don't actually want to upgrade. The rig does everything they need, and it does it well. Depreciation on Grand Designs is noticeably slower than competitors. A 3-year-old reflection loses about 30% versus 45% for comparable Keystone or Forest River models. Verify. The market has figured out that these hold up better long-term, so resale values reflect that reality. Weight is something to watch. These aren't lightweight trailers. The 303 RLS has a dry weight around 9,700 pounds and a GVWR of 14,000 pounds. Verify. You need a proper tow vehicle, not a half-ton truck marketed as being able to tow 12,000 pounds with a tailwind. 5. Leisure travel vans. I can already see the comments. LTV, my buddy looked at one and the price made him laugh out loud. Yeah, leisure travel vans are expensive, absurdly expensive for a Class B, but stick with me here because the owners have zero regrets. LTV builds in Winkler, Manitoba, which immediately sets them apart from the Indiana RV factories pumping out units like widgets. Canadian manufacturing standards are different. The attention to detail is different. These vans are built for extreme temperature swings and harsh conditions because, well, Canada. That engineering carries over when you're using it in milder climates. The thing is overbuilt for most of what you'll throw at it. The Unity and Wonder models are based on Mercedes Sprinter chassis. That means you're getting the Mercedes diesel engine, transmission, and drivetrain. Maintenance costs more than a ProMaster or Transit, but the driving experience is genuinely car-like. It doesn't feel like you're piloting a UPS truck down the highway. Here's what separates LTV from other Class B builders. The interior design actually makes sense. Storage is thoughtfully placed. The bed conversion is smooth. The bathroom doesn't require yoga flexibility to use. They sweated the details in ways that matter when you're living in the thing for weeks at a time. The Murphy bed setup in the Unity model is legitimately clever. During the day, you have a huge living space. At night, you have a real bed, and you're not constantly converting a dinette or couch. The warranty coverage is comprehensive, and the dealer network knows these vans inside and out. LTV maintains tight control over who can sell and service their products. You're not getting your warranty work done at some random RV dealer who's never seen an LTV before and treats it like a Winnebago. Resale value borders on ridiculous. 5-year-old Unity models sell for 75% to 80% of their original $200,000 plus price tags. Verify. The used market is so tight that some people actually wait for a used one to pop up rather than ordering new, even though the wait might be longer. The downside everyone mentions, parts availability. It's a Mercedes chassis, which means dealership pricing for brake jobs and oil changes. You're also dealing with more complex systems than a simpler Class B. When something breaks, the fix is expensive. That's what you're really paying for. The upfront premium versus the long-term maintenance reality. 6. Northwood Arctic Fox. You know what mechanics will tell you if you ask about truck campers? Get an Arctic Fox if you're serious. Northwood Manufacturing builds the Arctic Fox in La Grande, Oregon, and their whole reputation is constructed on one principle: build it tough enough for year-round use in actual Arctic conditions. 4-season capability isn't marketing speak with these. It's engineering reality. The insulation package, heated tanks, and sealed underbelly mean you can actually camp in freezing temperatures without everything turning into a disaster. The Arctic Fox 29-5T is a fifth wheel that shows up everywhere in cold climates. It's 32 feet long, weighs about 9,500 pounds dry, verify, and you see them in Alaska, northern Canada, and anywhere people RV year-round. The build quality is immediately obvious: dual-pane windows, high-density foam insulation, and a heated underbelly that's actually effective. Here's something interesting. Arctic Fox owners don't trade up. They trade sideways. They'll sell their 27-foot model to buy a 32-foot Arctic Fox, or they'll go from a fifth wheel to a truck camper, but they stay with the brand. The company has somehow cultivated brand loyalty in an industry where most people hate their manufacturer. The fit and finish is where you notice the difference. Cabinets are real wood, not paper-thin veneer over particle board. The furniture is screwed together properly. The slide mechanisms are heavy-duty. These aren't the cheapest components, they're the components that last. You pay more up front, but you're not replacing drawer slides in year 3. Pricing sits firmly in the premium category. A new Arctic Fox 29-5T runs about $85,000, verify, which makes some buyers flinch. The counter-argument from owners: they're still using their 15-year-old Arctic Fox while their neighbors are on their 3rd trailer in that same time span. The math works if you're planning to keep it long-term. Used Arctic Fox units hold value remarkably well. A 10-year-old truck camper in good condition sells for 60% to 65% of original MSRP, verify. That retention exists because buyers know these rigs last. The window might not stay open forever for deals on used ones. As more people figure this out, those percentages creep higher. 7. Newmar Dutch Star. Speaking of premium, this next one makes Arctic Fox pricing look downright reasonable. The Dutch Star is Newmar's diesel pusher Class A, and it occupies this interesting space in the motorhome market. Expensive enough to scare casual buyers, not quite expensive enough to compete with Prevost conversions. It's where you land when you want quality, but you're not trying to spend $500,000. Newmar started in 1968, and they've never chased volume. They build around 3,000 motorhomes a year total across all models, verify. For comparison, Thor Industries shipped over 250,000 RVs in a recent year, verify. Newmar could absolutely scale up production, but they've deliberately chosen not to. The quality control suffers when you're rushing units out the door to hit quarterly targets. The Dutch Star 4369 floor plan is 43 feet of luxury motorhome with a diesel pusher chassis. You're getting either a Cummins or Spartan chassis depending on year and configuration, along with air suspension and a tag axle on longer models. This isn't a gasoline Class A that struggles on mountain passes. It's a proper highway cruiser that holds speed and gets reasonable fuel economy for the size, somewhere around 8 miles per gallon, verify. Build quality is where Newmar justifies the price tag. The sidewalls are vacuum-bonded fiberglass, not stapled. The roof is one-piece Asdel composite. The interior woodwork is furniture grade, not RV grade. They use residential appliances where it makes sense, actual solid surface countertops, and plumbing that doesn't leak the first time you use it. Here's what the owners talk about: the dealer network. Newmar maintains strict standards for their service centers. You can't just become a Newmar service center because you want to. They audit, they train, they enforce standards. When you need warranty work or repairs, you're not rolling the dice on some random shop. The used market for Dutch Stars is active and prices stay high. A 5-year-old Dutch Star 4369 with 30,000 miles sells for around $250,000 to $280,000, verify. New ones push $450,000 to $550,000 depending on options, verify. That depreciation curve is much flatter than cheaper Class A motorhomes that lose half their value in the first 3 years. Is that worth the premium? We'll come back to that question. 8. Phoenix Cruiser. Unlike the Dutch Star, most people shopping for Class C motorhomes have never heard of Phoenix. Phoenix Cruiser is a small manufacturer in California, building Class C motorhomes on Ford E-Series chassis. Their annual production is tiny, maybe 200 units, verify. They're not trying to be Winnebago. They're trying to be the company that builds exactly what full-timers and serious RVers actually need, not what sells fastest on dealer lots. The 2552 model is 28 feet long and sleeps 6 people comfortably. Verify, which sounds impossible until you see the floor plan. The cab over bunk is actually usable. The dinette converts without requiring an engineering degree. The rear bedroom has a real queen bed. Everything is laid out like someone who actually camps designed it. Construction quality is the quiet secret here. Phoenix uses aluminum framing instead of wood. The walls are laminated fiberglass with no wood structure to rot. The roof is one-piece fiberglass. They're building this thing like a truck camper, overbuilt and designed to handle abuse. While other Class Cs are dealing with water intrusion and rot after 5 years, Phoenix owners are just changing the oil. The standard features list reads like everyone else's premium upgrade package. own generator, backup camera, solar prep, heated tanks. These aren't options, they're included. Phoenix's philosophy seems to be, build it right once, include what people actually need, don't nickel and dime buyers with option packages. Customer service is old school. You can call Phoenix and talk to people who actually build the motorhomes. They answer questions, they help with repairs. They treat buyers like long-term relationships instead of transactions. Owner forums are full of stories about Phoenix going above and beyond to solve problems. Pricing is fair for what you get. A new 2,552 runs about $180,000 to $200,000. Verify. That's more than a comparably sized Winnebago or Thor product, but you're comparing different construction methods. Used Phoenix cruisers rarely hit the market, and when they do, they sell fast at strong prices. The trade-off is availability. With such low production numbers, you can't just walk onto a dealer lot and buy one. You order, you wait, you get it when it's ready. Some buyers want instant gratification. Phoenix buyers are okay waiting for quality. 9. Lance Camper. Back in 1965, a guy named Jack Cole started building truck campers in a garage in Los Angeles. 60 years later, Lance is still family-owned and still building campers that refuse to die. The Lance 855S is a short-bed truck camper that's become almost legendary in the overlanding community. It weighs about 2,900 pounds wet, verify, which means you can actually put it on a half-ton truck without destroying your suspension. Most truck campers require a 1-ton dually. The 855S works with regular trucks that normal people actually own. Construction follows Lance's typical approach: aluminum framing, laminated fiberglass walls, one-piece fiberglass roof. No wood, no places for water to accumulate and rot things out. The floor is crowned to shed water away from the mounting points. These details matter when you're driving on rough roads or parking in wet conditions for extended periods. The layout is shockingly functional for something this small. You've got a dinette that converts to a bed, a wet bath, a 2-burner stove, and a 3-way fridge. It's not spacious, but everything works. People solo travel in these for months at a time. Couples use them as base camps. The compactness is the whole point. You can actually go places that bigger rigs can't access. Lance's warranty support is solid, and the dealer network is extensive. Any decent RV dealer can work on a Lance because they're not using proprietary systems or weird custom components. It's straightforward construction that any competent tech can repair. Parts availability is good going back decades. The used market for Lance campers is stupid strong. A 10-year-old 855S in good condition sells for 70% or more of its original price. Verify. New ones run about $35,000 to $40,000 depending on options. Verify. That value retention exists because these things legitimately last. People buy them used, use them for 5 years, sell them for basically what they paid, and feel like they got a free vacation out of it. Weight limits are the gotcha. Even though the 855S is lighter than most truck campers, you still need to actually calculate your truck's payload capacity. Too many buyers ignore this, load up the camper and the truck, and wonder why their suspension is sagging and their tires are wearing weird. Do the math before you buy. That math changes everything. 10. Road Trek. Here's why I saved Road Trek for last. They went bankrupt in 2018, which should have killed the brand. Instead, used Road Treks are more valuable than ever. Road Trek built Class B motorhomes in Canada for over 40 years before financial problems shut them down. The company got purchased out of bankruptcy and production restarted, but the gap left thousands of used Road Treks as basically the last examples of old-school Class B construction quality. The Road Trek 190 popular model is the one everyone wants. It's 19 feet long, built on a Chevy Express or Dodge Ram van chassis, and it's the Goldilocks size, small enough to drive anywhere, big enough to actually live in. The floor plan is simple: dinette, wet bath, kitchen, bed, no slides, no complicated systems, just a well-designed space that works. What makes pre-bankruptcy Road Treks special? the attention to detail. The cabinetry is real wood. The upholstery is durable fabric, not the cheap stuff that tears in 2 years. The electrical system is overbuilt. The plumbing doesn't leak. These aren't impressive features. They're basic competence, but basic competence is rare in the RV industry. Here's the crazy part. Used road treks from 2005 to 2018 are selling for nearly the same prices as they did 5 years ago. A 2015 Road Trek 190, popular with 40,000 miles, sells for around $65,000 to $75,000. Verify. Some are appreciating. When's the last time you heard about an RV appreciating in value? The scarcity is driving prices. Road Trek built maybe 1,500 to 2,000 units per year at their peak. Verify. Compare that to Winnebago's Class B production, and you see why used road treks are tough to find. They're not rare collectibles. They're just rare enough that demand exceeds supply. Maintenance is straightforward because they used standard chassis. A road trek on a Chevy Express gets serviced at any Chevy dealer. The RV components are accessible and well documented. Owner forums have decades of accumulated knowledge. You're not pioneering when something breaks. Someone else already figured out the fix and posted about it. The gamble with Road Trek is the bankruptcy and restart. The new company is building units, but are they maintaining the same quality standards? Too early to tell. Right now, the sweet spot is pre-bankruptcy models with good maintenance records. Those are the ones owners hold on to forever. And honestly, when you find a Class B that doesn't leak, doesn't break, and drives like a regular van, you don't give that up lightly. That's what these 10 RVs have in common. They're good enough that owners stop thinking about trading up and start thinking about road trips instead. So which one would I actually buy? Probably depends on what you're doing. The Airstream if I want something iconic that holds value. The Oliver if I want zero maintenance headaches. The Travato if I'm going solo or with just one other person. The Grand Design if I need space and want modern features. But here's the real question. Which of these would you choose? Drop a comment and let me know what I missed or what you'd add to this list. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got more deep dives coming on RVs that are actually worth your money. Thanks for watching.